Hey there, this is Malorian, and this will be two War Machine battle reports, both at 50 points. The guy I'm playing, I had never played before, except that we had a little chat about Rask, and I like having spitters with him, he liked having more combat stuff. But yeah, we're finally getting some games, and should be interesting. On my side, I'm going to be testing out my 50-point eCaine list. This is my kind of like tournament style, so I like the list, and we'll see how it goes. Overall, what the lists are is that he's running 3 different posse. He also has a witch doctor. Rask is running a bull snapper, a wrestler, and the swamp whore. He also has the gobbers there. For my part, I am running Stormwall with also a squire. I have a Stormcaller, Epic Iris, the Rangers, Reinhold, Max Longgunners, Min Boomhowlers, and then the Black 13th. Now, the mission here is one where it's first to 5. You get 1 for dominating the close zone, 1 for controlling the far zone, 2 for dominating, and 1 for destroying the objective. And the objective is one where it makes artillery better, but we don't have artillery, so it doesn't matter. Basically, looking at this one here, I know during his feat I'm going to have a hard time doing damage to him because you have to be within 5 to even target his guys are shooting. But hey, eCaine is pretty fast. My rangers can go up and shoot them up. I can also just go and bog him down with the rangers and with the boom howlers. One thing that I didn't think of when I deployed is I didn't see that he also had a min unit of his bog trogs. So that's going to cause trouble for either my Stormcaller or more likely my Black 13th. But overall, I should be okay. I know Rask well, and we'll see how it goes. So I get first turn, and really I just allocate 1 to the Stormwall, and I'm just rushing up. I did realize that my deployment with around this house was problematic because then Boomhowler, where I wanted them up in front, had to kind of go around. So that's not really what I planned. And so, like I said, expecting the Boomhowlers, or sorry, the Bog Trogs to come in, the Boomhowlers are kind of making a wall over there. But yeah, this is just kind of thing where I'm not really sure what to do with them. Otherwise, I want to get up Caine as far as I could. At first, I had him even further up, right up there with the Rangers, but I'm kind of worried he could do some shenanigans where the Wrestler throws the Swamp Whore and then makes him rise up with the Animus, and he can charge with Reach. So I'm just a little bit farther back just to be sure. So on his first turn, we talked about that possibility that he could have done, and otherwise then he's just kind of moving up and popping his feet. Looking at this here, he also put up the inhospitable ground, so the Rangers, they have Pathfinder, so they have no problem running up there and doing their thing, but Caine does not have Pathfinder, and so that's an issue, and I'm not sure I could actually move up close enough and be within 5 inches to shoot him. So basically the plan is just to kind of tie him up and shoot him as best I can with the Rangers on the left. The Boomhowlers are actually going to sweep around and cover the best that they can from those posses. I'll put up cover fire and basically just wait out his feet. So that's what I do. I go up, and the Rangers do kind of like a scattering of damage. It's not too bad. Stormwall goes up, shoots down those covering fire, also shoots over a pod so that Ryan can shoot it and make his little, basically large covering fire there. I tried going up with eCaine. I took 1 from the Squire and went up, but the way it worked out is I was about 5.5 inches out, so couldn't do my shooting, just gate crashed back behind the wall, so I'd be safe. And you can see that, like I said, Boomhowler is swinging around and also doing their best trying to cover. And yeah, it's not too bad. I should be able to set out his turn. But right here, all of a sudden, he was talking about how he can use his learnings from what we were talking about the first one, where he can throw the Swamp Whore to the right and then raise him up with the Animus and charge in. And I will be defense 19 behind the wall, but hey, if he puts Fury on this guy, if he gets a couple of good attacks through, I could easily die. So that's what he does, and one of the things that really screws this up is he also puts on the Boundless Charge. And I did not think he would have range for it, but he did have just enough room to get over the wall. So all of a sudden, I'm not getting the wall bonus, and luckily for me, even when he's boosting to hit, he's needing to get 11s, and he misses he hits the charge attack, does really good damage, and then for all the rest of it, missed the charge attack, missed all his other initials, and then bought and boost, and hit that one, boost the damage, and that one left me with like 3 boxes left. But yeah, if he would have hit with anything else, I would have been dead. So kind of dodged a bullet here, but yeah, kind of sneaky shenanigans going on from the Gators. Otherwise, he goes in on the left, takes no damage from that cover fire, kills 4 of the Rangers. On the right side, charged through at the Boom Howlers. He went through there. Actually, the first one I rolled like double 6 and I killed a Gator straight out. So that was pretty crazy. But otherwise, his scattering of damage to them, not too bad because, you know, now I could always deal with them as I like. But the main thing is he really was going for the assassination. Rask had to be up there so he could actually force. And so now I'm pretty sure I can just do the assassination. We realized that he forgot to bring on his bog trogs, so we just do that after. They come on from the right. They kill the troll, or the Boom Howler troll that's over here, and that's not too bad. They're engaging Watts, but meh, that's not the main thing that really matters. So on my turn, what I do is I allocate 1 to the storm wall. He comes over, and he does a whatever his super power attack, punching the swamp whore to slam him into the building there. Unfortunately, that also means he's going to be going over 2 of my long gunners and killing them, and he won't be knocked down because he's steady. But you know, it all works out. Reinhold before that had gone up, given me an extra bullet. I had taken one from the Squire, went up with the Rangers so I could mark him because he's inside the cloud or the gobber, so that basically then cancels out. And then I just go up, pop feet, and pow, pow, pow. He has a couple of transfers, but it's not enough, and I kill Rask. So overall, it was an interesting game. You know, since I know how to deal with Rask's feet, I knew just to go and tie him up so that I could shoot him later. But hey, you know, that whole swamp horror thing almost got me, and that was pretty dangerous. Looking back on it, I probably just should not have even tried to, you know, go up with eCaine and try and kill 1 Gator. Just stay back, stay safe, and that's the way to do it. But either way, we now saw that we had time for another game, so let's get on to that one. Alright, so for this next one here, the fastest army I could pull out for 50 points is my 50-point eKaya. And, you know, she's just one that I have lots of fun with and should do some fun stuff with minions. He is now switching over and he's doing piggies. So he's running Lord Carver, and with him he's running 2 of the war pigs there. He also has 2 min-sized units of the brigands. He has a Targ there in the back. He has 2 gun bores, and he also has the slaughterhousers and Rorsch and Brine. We're doing the same scenario, same terrain, just to keep it fast and get the game in. For my part here, eKaya is running Laris, the Getorix, the Stalker, the Feral, the Gnarlhorn, the Argus, the Gorax, and 2 Feral Geist, and then also the Griffin there on the far right. The Griffin probably isn't one of the best things to run this list, but hey, it's just like a mash of guys, and probably when I paint up another Argus or something, I'll probably run that instead. But either way, the plan here is, I know his stuff can be really deadly with his feet, so actually I'm hoping to actually get muzzle off on one of his war boars, and then past that, just, you know, hopefully I can get off a nice berserk, kill off lots of his guys, out-threat him, kill his guys, get away, and see how it goes. So I get first turn, I'm putting up Forced Evolution on the Argus, Shadow Pack is up, and otherwise I'm just, you know, warping for speed to run up with the Feral to there, and just gaining some ground. On his turn, he's moving up, and he has a nice armor buff there, the batten down the hatches and mobility, so he casts that. All his guys has really high armor, and he tries doing some shots at me, but thanks to Shadow Pack, they scatter, and when it's just half damage on the gun bores, that's not really going to be doing much of anything. So on my turn here, I had to decide what to do, whether I was going to try and go for the left side and just trying to contest with the Griffin and kill what I want over here. I mean, luckily his Rorsch and Brine are behind the wall and they don't have Pathfinder, so I could have really done a lot of stuff over there, but looking at it, I just didn't really like it that much. I decided to shift to the right instead. So I go and I contest with the Feral Geist, and the idea is I want to actually see if I can muzzle that one Warboar and lock him in place. So Laris goes up, I boost a muzzle, and I fail it. Okay, well I have another 2, and I fail it again. So that's danger time. Now I got him there. So what I do is I just run the Argus, because being in the a little toe in the forest there, he's defense 17 normally and then 19 against shooting. So he'll be a real pain to get out of the way. Otherwise, you can see I got my heavies over there ready to counter. The Griffin just on the far right, just to try and go after a gun bore or something if needed. And yeah, meanwhile, I'm not totally giving up in the left zone. If he really tries running up, I still have the Gnarlhorn and also the Stalker there. So on his turn, it takes a lot. I mean, he does the same normal thing with mobility and batten down the hatches. Tries doing some shooting into the Argus, just doesn't work. Really takes his Warboar to go in there and finish the guy off. So that's great. Meanwhile, he's really just kind of moving up with Carver, then covering it with his Brigands. I really did feel like it was a little bit too far that he went up with Carver. The rest of his guys, Roche and Brian, go over the wall, and he's noticing now what a pain it's going to be to try and get rid of that Feral Geist to actually start scoring over there. But looking at this here, I could probably deliver Getorix to Carver. So all I need to do is knock off 2 of those Brigands that are in the way, put on Dogpile, and then that should be able to do it. So that's going to be the plan. Unfortunately, when I started going through the plan, it didn't work. So really what happened is I went with Kaya first and tried arcing through Dogpile, and I just couldn't get the stick. So with that not happening, instead I just pop my feet and I decide I'm going to go for attrition over here. I go and I put Primal onto the Getorix, and he goes and charges over and kills the Gunboar, and he's also, of course, engaging all those other guys. I decided not to bring him back with feet because I don't need to. Laris kills one of the guys there, pops back over. I go over with the Griffin, and he's able to kill a couple of guys, and I just decide to leave him up there too. Then I go up with the Feral, and he kills a couple of guys and pops back. The Gnarlhorn just comes back, and I move over the Feral guys to be to another corner where I don't have to worry about him slamming me out. So it was a pretty good attrition turn. He has to deal with Getorix that's right there in his grill. Looking at it, I didn't really think it was a possibility because I figured I'd want Primal onto Getorix in order to really hit and do a lot of damage. But I was thinking after, I could have always just used the Gnarlhorn's Animus on him too to get that extra damage. But either way, it's probably better just to play it safe. And, he was capping a good amount, so he'd been pretty strong anyway. So on his turn, the main thing he needs to try and do is get rid of that Getorix, and he's pretty tough to deal with. If I would have had up Forced Evolution on him, it would be even more of a pain, but it really takes Carver to come over and kill him. So Carver's right there, just camping one transfer. Again, he's, shaking his fist of having to deal with that Feral Geist on the left. But otherwise, he doesn't really do too much damage to anything else. It's really just killing the Getorix. And now it's just got to kill Carver, and that's the game. So the way I get it done is I go and I slam one of those slaughterhousers into him to knock him down. I need to kill off another one of the guys here on the right, so I just do that with a muzzle shot. And then it's just putting Primal and Forced Evolution onto the Stalker. He warps for strength, charges over, and pretty easily puts Carver into the dirt. So there you have it. Looking at it, this one was probably a little bit of a bad matchup because he has a lot of shooty elements, and then I have Shadow Pack, so he couldn't really shoot a lot. But at the same time, he had a lot of combat elements, and unfortunately he had things where on the far left he was a little bit stuck there with Roche and Brian behind the wall, and then once I shifted over, all that stuff was really useless, right? He had a Gunboar and Roche and Brian that really didn't do anything the whole game. He could have probably been a little bit more careful with Carver, but the problem is if you hold Carver back, then all of a sudden Getorix would have survived, and bad things could have happened after. So either way, it was a couple of fun games, and I hope you guys liked watching them. Bye.